welcome back to another video. So today's video is going to be talking about how I edit my videos. I get a lot of questions about it, so I thought I would finally do a video so you guys can all just flock to this video if you're curious. So please follow my socials and my Spotify on the screen and I will just get started. I've kind of divided this video up into like different sections based on like the editing process that I use. And yeah, and then also the audio in this video is kind of weird. It's because the heat is on and it just won't turn off, so that's just awesome. But yeah, so let's just get right into the video. The first section that I'm going to go over is the equipment I use, and I don't really use that much equipment. I use a tripod for like stabilization or whatever, and then for my camera I actually have a Canon EOS Rebel T3i, which is so old. Like, this is literally, I got it in 7th grade, but the reason why it's like pretty good quality is because I have a Sigma 30mm f1.4 lens on it, and I literally love this lens. It's a miracle worker. Like, I get asked all the time, how do you have such good quality videos? And it's because of this lens, and I literally love the lens. I also use lights, and I can probably list them down below. They're the Cowboy Studio lights, and I literally love them. They were really cheap, but they work. Like, all you need is like a light, so you don't have to pay a bunch of money. I would like a ring light, but I just use the Cowboy Studio lights. So right now I'm using natural light, which you can probably tell because the light's gonna fluctuate throughout this video. But natural light's always better. However, it's winter, so I kind of have to use the lighting, you know. So yeah. So the next thing that I want to talk about with editing is how I go through the different steps. So I actually start out editing the base video, so like the talking part, and I chop it up and try and remove any unnecessary talking. So you can probably see me doing this. You can use the Command B key if you have a Mac on Final Cut Pro to do this, and I tend to go through it frame by frame by using the, you know, the different slide buttons or whatever. You'll see it, and this gets more accurate cuts, so you're not cutting off like right in the middle of audio, because that's just kind of awkward and very like abrupt. So I try not to do that, and I try to go through different frame by frames and looking at where the audio changes so that I can kind of cut up the base video like properly. So the next thing that I really like about Final Cut Pro is there are a lot of customizable options. So different titles, like you can have like this title or this title, and it's all just going to be so different. So there are a few different ways that I like to do this. The first way is I will make a basic title. I will change the font to whatever kind of suits the vibe of the video. And a lot of times I will either add the bad TV effect to this font, or I will add like a shadow and make it move around. Occasionally I'll just add like prism and like the underwater effect, which you'll be able to see. But honestly, like, I just really like the bad TV effect because it just kind of moves it for you just enough so it's not like boring text. There's also sometimes when I like to play with the spacing of the words or of the letters, because this kind of gives it like the spaced apart, like minimalistic effect, which I really like, and so sometimes I'll go for that. The next thing that I actually really like to do is like a frame in a frame. So I haven't done any like lookbooks or any fancy videos lately. A lot of them have just been sitting down. But how you do this is, so you take your clip and I put it on top of just a white picture that you can find on Google or whatever, and then I change the color of that white picture so it's like yellow or like orange or whatever, and then you can play them both and you'll have like an outline of your clip, which I think is really cool, and it just adds just a little extra if the clip is boring or you want to add something more to it. So the next thing I want to talk about is something that I actually learned recently, and it's how to like write your font. So something like this, I'm going to show you how to do. So I use an app on my phone called Paper, and I actually found this app from a user called, or a YouTuber called Best Dressed, I believe. Like, I don't remember. I think that was her YouTube, but I found it from her, and it's called Paper. And you can just draw. So what I like to do is I color the background black, and then I screen record as I draw any word like hey or like whatever. It usually comes out best if you do it in white or like a light blue. And then I import that onto my computer and I crop it so like only the black and the writing is in it. And then I just put it in as either an add-in or a subtract. You'll see on the video, and then it just shows it writing, and I think it's really cool. I haven't used this a lot in my videos, but I just think that like when I do end up using it, I'm really gonna like it, and I just kind of figured figured this out yesterday. I just kind of like played around with it. So that's something that I thought you guys might benefit from knowing. Alright, so the next thing I want to talk about is how I do, it's really simple, but just like how I do simple things like this. A lot of people have asked about it. So basically, I made my whole, like, follow me on Spotify social media on an app called Fonto, and I just put a green background on it, so it's like a green screen. And then I moved around a bunch of just screenshots of my Spotify playlist, put some text in, and then when I put it in on Final Cut Pro, I use the keyer setting, which is like for green screen. And it's really useful because then you just have it and I can put it over here, and I'll talk about how I do that now. So basically I put it on the screen, and then I'll show you this all, like it's all going to be right now, you'll be seeing it. So I put it on the screen and then I move it out of the frame and I key that with the keying button. And then I go over a few frames when I want it to be over here, and then I move it down and I key that. So you'll see it like moves down with the frames, and then towards the end I do the exact same thing, just the opposite. And that's how I move my my stuff around the screen that I like to do sometimes, and it's really helpful. Editing to me is all about just playing around with the different effects that you can use. I really love editing. I don't get out enough to get out. I never leave my house. I don't get out enough or have like enough lookbook videos, but I feel like if I did, that would be so fun. I would have so much fun editing them. I've always wanted to do like cool little tricks and stuff and just like figure out like my editing style, which you're always going to be figuring out. You're never really going to know. Unless you do, then props to you, but it always takes me a little bit to figure out. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to talk about is color grading. This is something I still struggle with, but basically it's just changing the color of your video so it looks a little bit nicer. Maybe it's too dark, maybe it's too bright, which I guarantee this video is going to end up too bright. And you can just color grade it in Final Cut Pro. So there are a few different things that I do to color grade. I add saturation to the video. I make the temperature a little cooler, so it's like less warm tones, a little bit cooler, and it's more of a white balance. If the frame or the video has a little bit of a green tint, I'll add a pink tint to kind of even it out. If it has a pink tint, I'll add a green tint to even it out. This is like white balance, and it's really helpful to try and get those nice white tones that everyone like wants in their videos. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. I'm sorry I'm like deceased. I'm really tired. I just woke up, so like when I say I just woke up, I literally rolled out of my bed, went over there, put on makeup, came here, so. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please follow my socials, my Spotify, who said that? Why am I like this? Yeah, I hope you enjoyed. I hope this gave you some editing tips, and please tell me what videos you want to see because I'm struggling to figure out what videos to film. And I will talk to you guys next week. Bye!